See? The friggin' thing shut off and it's supposed to last. That's another thing. It shuts off. It's supposed to record long movies and it shuts off. Shuts off. It does make a noise when it shuts off, so that tells me that I won't continue talking for nothing. But it doesn't last very long. I hate this camera. It's a Sony 800 something, 80 something, whatever. Point shot or cyber shot, whatever it is, I hate it. Like I said, I ordered one that was in the top 10 digital cameras at one person's list anyway, one website's list. It's more expensive. It's coming in the mail, and I need to put a sign up, like, please, I want it to be, don't you fucking dare, but I'll be, please do not leave my camera. This is a expensive digital camera. Don't leave it out on the cold. Knock on the door or do whatever, but don't leave it sitting on the front porch, front steps out in the cold, okay? It can't be good for it. Plus, I told you they're notorious. It doesn't matter if it's UPS or FedEx, or even the regular one that's done it before. But they don't even have the decency to put it in plastic. It's packages. Sit them out in the wet and on the snow and on the, it can be snowing or it could already have snow, but it's not actually snow, but it's on the ground, on the steps. So as I sit there and while my mom's in the mental hospital gushing to me, I have it saved on voicemail, but also she talked gushing to me about how he reduced her. And she's like, no, Laura, you're wrong. Mom, whatever. I'm not going to argue with you because I predicted it. But what makes me sick to my stomach is that she's just an afterthought. You understand? They were all ready to have her be on the Prolixin pills. And that was the only thing that's different, but she also wants to take more Conchet and benztropine for side effects. Her psychiatrist had reduced it from 1 milligram to 0.5, but in the hospital she was on 0.5 twice a day, and she never wanted it reduced in the first place. If the psychiatrist doesn't want to reduce the DAPA code, so she humors my mom and reduces the stupid benztropine, okay? But the fact is, Zyprexa and Prolixin are not remotely the same, okay? And I don't like my mom being deceived. I really don't like my mom being deceived. But nobody can get to the bottom. No one can reach the doctor in the mental hospital. And in the end, they're going to take the easy way out, and she's just going to stay on the same medication after gushing to me up a storm in a voicemail and over the phone, talking to me how her meds are reduced and this doctor's great. Yeah, he's great. At least he didn't keep you in. If you had been in those horrible hospitals, those two that I begged him, I mean, I said, please don't send them to them unless you absolutely have to. I would explain to you if they're supposed to take the first open bet, and that's what they say to me, but as a courtesy to family members. But those assholes who take care of her, who don't know shit, but act like they know everything, act like they're freaking God, okay? You think they don't make mistakes? I would be forgiving of them being human and making mistakes if they granted me, had the decency to grant me the same consideration, but they don't, not even remotely, okay? I live in a world where, like I said, they're going to call my cell phone when I expressly told them not to. My mom said, they've asked for it, and no, Laura doesn't want you to have the cell phone. I don't have to have a cell phone, you understand? I could just have a home phone. I'm not required to have a cell phone. And like Selena would back me up when it was Spanish, sure as fuck, they don't have to have my cell phone even if I have it, okay? And then that time, the bitch is condemning me for the extended absence greeting I left for my mom after we'd had a long day together, and I was just, whatever, I could do what I want. It's my phone I pay for, accusing me of doing things I knew I hadn't done, not letting me get a word in edgewise, talking at me, to patronizing me, the whole 9 yards. And it doesn't matter if it's just one. There's a reason somebody coined that, penned that saying, whatever, a long time ago. One bad apple spoils the bunch, okay? they're going to be like cops and stick together and view themselves as a collective, then I'll do the same. One treats me like shit, they all do. Period. Fuck them. I need to get out of here because I can't take it. My anger is palpable. My rage is palpable. I can't take it. And it's not healthy for my mom. Because she doesn't have the mental, her limitations, but she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. And she's like, well, what can I do? She doesn't get what it's done to me, though. That they were going to go along with the doctor, and then you'd only be on 2 meds, Prolixin and Depakote, instead of Prolixin, Depakote, and Zyprexa. Okay? Because, again, when she's on Zyprexa, not the Prolixin pill, she gets the Prolixin shot. So, but she'd also said he wanted her off the shot and just on the pills, and no Zyprexa. But he, for whatever reason, he prescribed it, and it didn't go through, so now they're just going to take the easy way out, and because they don't give a fuck. Told you, I don't believe for a second they're out for her best interests. Okay? In the beginning, sure, but once they started, being annoyed or whatever, or thinking it doesn't matter. She's on the same meds, and to her it's like, well, what can I do? I don't know, Mom, but I have to get out of here. She's afraid. I'm afraid. And, even if she's totally on board, but what can I do? How quickly you forget how you gushed. You were so happy this doctor reduced your meds. And I warned you what could happen when you came in the outside world. But the sick thing is, again, it's the reason they're just, and then they're deceiving her. Saying Prolixin and Zyprexa are the same. They're not the same. They're not the same, but I'm not surprised at you to say that, It's not the same. The more meds you're on, it's called polypharmacy. John Barron talked about it in detail. It was fantastic. It's polypharmacy. You might know the side effects of one med, but you don't know the side effects of one med combined with another, combined with it. You know what I mean? It's better to be on less, And obviously he's a doctor that doesn't believe in, that my mom should be on 3 different ones. That's why he said you're on too much medication. But in the end, she's doing what she wants to do. I told Selena this is what was going to happen. And Selena's like, okay, your mom can say no. My mom's not going to say shit, okay? You understand? My mom's like, well, what can I do? She's, but she's trying to say, she says it's the same, it's not the same medication. I looked it up before. Last time when you were in that regular hospital, after that horrible hospital doctor, asshole, put you on high dosage, starting dosage of Thorazine, and you landed in the ER with a suspected seizure, okay? They put you on Zyprexa. I think they were trying to tell me Zyprexa. I don't think they were trying to tell me anything, but I knew that now she's on 3 instead of 2. She was on Prolixin pills. I mean, you know what I mean? It is different. Zyprexa and Prolixin are not the same thing. But I don't want her doctor deceiving her, and I refused to have that happen. And I was so angry. I was so angry. It's like they were going to go along with the new medication regimen until something fucked up in the process of prescribing it to us, whatever. So, oh well, we're just going to keep you on what you've been on. No big deal. Of course it's no big deal. Because it's not you taking the meds, you fucking assholes. It's my naive, gullible, far too trusting mother that's gonna friend her way right into you know what, okay? trust her way into her own. Sick. I'm so sick. Like Joe said not too long ago, even if you ever miraculously escape all of this, you're still going to permanently suffer from the PTSD it all caused you. You know it all caused you. I listen to her voicemails and think how happy she, and then nope, she's on the same fucking meds after gushing to me from the mental hospital that it's gonna, that they're reduced. I have the proof. I could play it for her. Okay? That's why I save them. That's why I fucking save them. I have them where she's saying how I believe I have it on voicemail, where she's talking about how she was smart and they tried to get me to sign a piece of paper, but I know not to do that. And I said, not unless you get to see it. And of course, do they let me see it and make a copy? No. They treat her like a child and me like whatever, and that's it. Okay? They wouldn't explain it to her, wanted her to sign it, and she refused, so it just goes to the back burner, and they've just forgot about it. But they sure as fuck didn't make her a copy and let her take it home for me to see. No respect for me at all. None. Not since I started, you know, understandably not trusting them, not wanting to talk to them. And, you know, and then my mom, when she's not doing that great, was getting really hot or, you know, big for her, all high, you know. She's usually timid, but she'd be like, Laura doesn't trust you, and neither do I. You think they wanted to hear that? Of course not. It infuriated them. It infuriated them. And then, what do we need to get a lawyer? She'd oh, you know, normally she's timid, but then when she's whatever, she can get a little, you know, and she gets fed up. She'd even say to me, like, what's the deal? What's the secret?